War does not end when the shooting stops. For the men who commanded the Red Army during World War II, survival on the battlefield was only half the battle. Some died in firestorms. Others were executed by their own government. A few survived the war, only to fall from power, disappear into obscurity, or meet strange and tragic ends. Under the rule of Joseph Stalin, victory came at a cost, not just in millions of soldiers, but in the lives of the very generals who led them. Tonight, we explore how the most powerful Soviet commanders lived, and how they died. Before Nazi Germany ever invaded the Soviet Union, Stalin had already crippled his own military. In the late 1930s, during the Great Purge, thousands of officers were arrested, tortured, and executed. The most famous victim, Mikhail Tukhachevsky, a brilliant strategist, often called the Red Napoleon. He wasn't killed in battle. He was accused of treason, subjected to a forced confession, and executed in 1937. His death sent a chilling message. In Stalin's USSR, even the greatest generals were expendable. When Operation Barbarossa began in 1941, the Red Army was thrown into chaos. Many Soviet generals died not from political paranoia, but from the sheer brutality of war. Early in the war, Konev faced catastrophic defeats. Stalin nearly had him executed. Only intervention from others saved him. He survived the war, but lived under constant fear. Commander of Soviet forces during the German invasion. After devastating losses in Belarus, he wasn't killed by the Germans. Instead, Stalin had him arrested and executed in 1941 for military incompetence. His death marked the beginning of a pattern. Failure meant death. One of the Red Army's most talented commanders, but he didn't die in a major battle. In 1944, he was ambushed by Ukrainian nationalist insurgents. Wounded and unable to receive proper treatment in time, he died from infection. A battlefield death, but not the one history expected. 7 o'clock to 10:30. Generals executed by their own side. The Soviet Union didn't just lose generals to the enemy, it killed many of its own. Captured by the Germans in 1942, instead of dying in captivity, he made a fateful decision. He defected and formed the Russian Liberation Army to fight against the USSR. When the war ended, he was captured by Soviet forces. In 1946, he was hanged for treason, once a close ally of Stalin. But his career collapsed due to poor leadership and political conflicts. After the war, he was arrested during another wave of repression. In 1950, he was executed, not by enemies, but by the system he helped serve. Not all Soviet commanders died violently. Some lived long lives, but under shadows of fear, paranoia, and political pressure. The most famous Soviet general of World War II, the man who defended Moscow, crushed the Germans at Stalingrad, and captured Berlin. But victory didn't protect him. After the war, Stalin saw him as a threat. Zhukov was stripped of power and exiled from central command. He survived, dying in 1974, but never fully escaped Stalin's suspicion. A brilliant commander who helped turn the tide of the war. But before that, he was arrested, tortured, and imprisoned during Stalin's purges. His teeth were broken during interrogation, yet somehow he survived, was released, and went on to become one of the war's greatest generals. He died peacefully in 1968, but his story reveals the strange reality of Soviet power. A man could be tortured one year and celebrated as a hero the next. Some Soviet generals met unusual or unexpected fates. The youngest front commander in the Red Army, a rising star. In 1945, just months before the end of the war, he was killed by artillery fire. Random, sudden, meaningless. He never saw victory, hero of the Battle of Stalingrad. He survived one of the bloodiest battles in history, lived decades after the war, and died peacefully in 1982. But even in death, his legacy was tied to destruction. He requested to be buried in Stalingrad among the soldiers who died under his command. So how did Soviet generals really die? Not in one way, but in many. Some died in battle. Some were executed, some were betrayed, some survived, but lived in fear. In Stalin's Soviet Union, rank did not guarantee safety. In fact, it often made you more vulnerable. Victory did not protect you, loyalty did not save you, and failure was fatal. The Red Army defeated Nazi Germany, but behind that victory lies a darker truth. The Soviet system consumed its own leaders almost as ruthlessly as it destroyed its enemies. For every general who marched into Berlin, another vanished into a prison cell or a firing squad. History remembers their victories, but their deaths tell the real story.